The unexpected turns of life. Someone once said a beautiful thing: if a tree has branches, then flowers and leaves will follow. If today is bad, tomorrow will bring good days too. A successful businessman, John Anderson, hurried out of his luxury car and rushed towards the airport. His heart was pounding as his flight was about to take off in just a few minutes. Somehow, he managed to reach on time, boarded the plane, and settled into his seat. As the plane took off, he took a deep breath and opened his laptop. He was heading to an important business conference where he was invited as a special guest. His life seemed perfect, successful, wealthy, and well-planned, but fate had other plans. Suddenly, the weather took a turn for the worse. Dark clouds covered the sky, heavy rain poured down, and lightning flashed. The captain's voice echoed through the speakers: "Due to bad weather, we cannot continue to our destination. We will be landing at a nearby airport instead." John's relief quickly turned into frustration. Clenching his fists, he muttered, "This is unacceptable. I have to be there on time." When the plane landed, he stormed out angrily and snapped at the airline staff, "Where am I? What kind of service is this?" At that moment, a fellow passenger approached him gently and said, "Don't worry, sir. I recognize you. You're John Anderson, the guest speaker for the conference, right? I'm also heading there. The destination is about 3 hours away by car. You can still make it by taking a cab." Though still annoyed, John thanked him, hailed a taxi, and instructed the driver, "I need to reach my destination on time. Drive carefully but quickly. I can't afford any more delays." The driver nodded and assured him they would try their best despite the heavy rain and poor visibility. As the storm worsened, the taxi driver nervously admitted, "Sir, I think I've lost the way." Hearing this, John felt another wave of frustration, but then he sighed, realizing that he couldn't control everything. He said, "All right, just take me wherever you can. Let's get out of this mess." A little further down the road, they spotted a small house with dim lights glowing inside. The driver suggested stopping there until the storm passed. Reluctantly, John agreed. When they knocked on the door, a kind but tired voice invited them in. Inside, they found an elderly woman praying in a small, humble room. Nearby, a sick child lay on a bed, his pale face hinting at illness. After finishing her prayers, the old woman turned to them with a warm smile. "Welcome. The storm is strong, but don't worry. Rest here until it's safe to leave. Would you like some water or tea?" John politely declined and asked for a phone. The elderly woman laughed softly, "We don't have phones here, nor electricity. This is a small village. But sit, rest, and trust that the storm will pass." As they talked, the woman shared her sorrow. "That boy over there is my grandson. His parents are gone, and I am all he has. He is very sick, and the local doctors can't help. I have heard there's a famous doctor in New York, Dr. John Anderson, who can cure him. But I am a poor old woman, how could I ever reach such a big doctor? So I pray every day for God to send him to us." Hearing this, John froze. His eyes filled with tears, and his heart swelled with emotion. He stood up and said, "Mother, your prayers have been answered. I am Dr. John Anderson. The storm, the flight, the road, it all brought me here to your door." The old woman's eyes widened in disbelief, and then she wept with gratitude. Holding his hands, she said, "God is great. He works in mysterious ways. Thank you for coming." Moral of the story: life often takes unexpected turns, and what seems like a setback may actually be a divine plan leading us to something greater. Challenges, delays, and detours can feel frustrating, but they might be guiding us toward moments of purpose, connection, or the chance to make a meaningful difference in someone else's life. John's journey, filled with obstacles, ultimately brought him to a place where his skills and presence were desperately needed, a place he would never have reached if everything had gone according to his plan. This story reminds us to trust in the process of life and to have faith that even in our struggles, a reason and a path are unfolding. When we approach life with patience, humility, and belief in higher wisdom, we discover that every situation, no matter how difficult, holds a hidden blessing. The story encourages us to stay hopeful, be compassionate, and remember that small acts of kindness and perseverance can create ripples of change in the world. Above all, it teaches us to trust in the power of faith, faith in ourselves, faith in others, and faith in the unseen forces that shape our destiny.